Hey everyone, this is Jay with you on my channel Liformation. Well, today I'm coming to you all the way from Yangon in Myanmar. Why all the way am I here? Well, I came for a vacation and I wanted to see, Myanmar is supposed to be a country that is opening up for tourism. So it's still early on in its infant stages, and the culture is still very much intact. So I decided to come down and just see the country for what it is before it becomes, into the Western, what do you say, block that it's gonna usually come into. Well, something like its cousin country, Thailand or something like that. So I just landed yesterday and it's been a good time so far in Yangon. I've just gone to visit a few temples and also to see the river, and it's been such a lovely experience of reflection and that actually made me come to the topic that I'm going to discuss with you today, which is about water. Yeah, you heard me. It's water. So why water? I mean, I could have selected so many topics, but why did I decide water? Well, water is a very important resource on planet Earth. And as I was just pondering over the river and just looking at the large river that was there, and it just made me wonder, we've taken so much for granted that we have water, so much so that a couple of years ago we didn't even have bottled water in Sri Lanka. But now all of a sudden, everything's become commercialized, and spring water bottles and we're drinking out of plastic bottles. Well, we rarely stop to think about the health implications because, well, looking at things which we call divine, water is right up there. Okay, because where would we be without water? We can live without food for quite a number of days. I mean, some people have gone on for days, or let's say, I think the world record is about 1 year without having any food. But there's no such world records when it comes to water, right? Everyone needs water. So I suppose if you take 7 billion people on planet Earth, all of them are 70% water, right? So if you multiply 7 billion by 70%, how much is that? That's a lot of water. Like that's like almost quite a number of, if you take the number of liters that 70% is, and if you count into 7 billion, that's like an ocean. We're like small blobs of water just on planet Earth, and there's so many of us, and we rarely pay any attention to this divine nature, which is 70%. We only think that we're flesh and blood, but we rarely think that the most abundant element in a human body is water, right? And we cannot do without water, my friends. We cannot. We would die without water, right? So, if I take if I take Sri Lanka for example, right? In our country, we have in the Eastern or let's say traditions, water is very revered. So much so that when they dig a cistern or a well, they would put charcoal, burnt charcoal, or some flowers into that well, right? Some of you might have seen it, some of you might have heard of it. There's a very big reason why we do that, right? And the reason is because what other divine being is there other than water, right? And modern science nowadays has proven that it is a liquid computer, right? Water is a liquid computer. What does that mean? It retains, the okay, chemically it's called H2O, right? We all know that. We study that in science class. But water retains, or let's say it behaves differently when you look at it. How weird is that, you ask? Yes, it is. I mean, because the molecular structure of water changes when you look at it. Okay, so this is quite bizarre, you may ask. Yes, it is. And that's the reason why all our traditions or cultures have known this, and they have respected and revered water, right? And like, even if they put it into a small cistern, a clay cistern, they put a few flowers on top of the water. That's the very reason, right? So water, the molecular structure changes. Have you ever bathed just at the bottom of a waterfall, right? You find that the water that's falling from about 70 80 feet if you're right down below, you feel that the water right down below is very silky, right? This nature is called imploded water. What happens is, when water is forced from such a elevation, the molecular structure changes when it hits rocks, right? And imploded water, currently science is proving that with very little water, they can really grow crops, right? And currently there are like water imploding machines that are out there, right? So which are being given to, let's say, to farmers, probably in water sparse areas where they've been hit by drought, so they can actually grow a lot more vegetables or trees or plants with very little water, because the water uptake by the plants is much more, right, when it's imploded water, right? So this is the key thing that I wanted to discuss with you. As I was just wondering how we have taken life which is water, for granted, right? I mean, there's a lot more to talk about water, but these are like the most important areas that I wanted to touch on, right? And before I forget, there is another very important thing. Next time, it is also proven that when you consume water, you do so in, let's say, a metallic or a copper vessel, right? Because copper is a very good conductor. It's very difficult to find though, but if you look at it, it's much more safer than plastic, and it's beneficial for your health, right? So as much as possible, try to get a copper vessel, right, to drink water. And also, before you drink water, right, just hold the vessel in your hand and just clear your mind, right? Clear your mind of all your let's say preoccupied thoughts, as most of us just engage ourselves into. Just clear your mind and just look at the water. Just look at the water for let's say about 30 seconds, and just pay respect to it. Pay attention to that water that you're about to consume, because you see, when the molecular structure, when it's in your hand, and when you're respecting that resource that you're about to consume, right? This divine, see, water has gone all around the world, right? It has gone to the skies, it has come to the ground, it has gone through rivers, it has gone to the mountains. It has touched the nature of the divine in many aspects, right? So it knows a lot. So if anything, you respect it, and it has the ability to restore you, right? Just try it out. Just try it out. Don't take my word for it. You just try it out. You know, pay respect to it, because water, I mean, there's nothing to lose, because water, when you keep it in a metal vessel and then you consume it as in the process I just outlined, you'll see some stunning changes within you. Just try it out, right? As a lifestyle change, just try it out. And do let me know. Just comment below this video if you find that it is very subtle, right? I must tell you that you can't expect like life transforming things that are will happen in an instant. No, right? But just try it out, and you'll find subtly changes in your thought patterns, let's say in your the calming of your mind. See, when water molecules are behaving in a particular way within your body, it does not allow for it's a catalyst for many of the chemicals that or enzymes within your body, right? So if you treat it with respect, it will save you, right? Let me put it that way. So just try it out, my friends. And when you start respecting the resources, when you start seeing it that it is an absolute divine creation, this water that's on this planet, and how we have ruined it so far, and it's on the verge of destruction. But if each of you today take a step at conserving, respecting, and just being mindful about these things. And that's one of the main things that I want to touch base with you through this channel of Life Information or Liformation, so that once you're aware of it, you will seek it, right? If you start being aware about these things, you will definitely start searching. And my aim is that there will be another responsible human being who will actually take action, right? So with that being said, if you like this content, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. And also, if you're watching this content for the very first time, please do subscribe to my channel, Liformation, and you can look forward to my upcoming content, as I'll be here in Yangon until a couple of days more before I head back to Sri Lanka. I'll keep you updated on my travels. Well, take care and peace out.